I've been looking forward to something like this for a really long time. When I saw the OneTigris hammock tent, it really checked a lot of the boxes for me. The fact that it has the features that it does is why I was willing to jump on it, even though there weren't many reviews at the time. Now I know there's a few more reviews, and I want to add mine to that list. And so I'm mostly just going to give you my opinion after using it. I'm not going to show you every single feature. I'm going to be try to be pretty brief here. So first of all, loads of space. It's huge, it's enormous, it gives a lot of space, and that's a good thing unless you have a small footprint area to work with. I'm 6'5", my hammock fits in there completely, I fit in there great. The door features on both sides are fantastic. The fact that they close, unlike other companies' tarps, this one actually closes and pegs down to the ground. It has 3 zippers, which is super unique and very functional. I actually love it. And I use the zippers on one side, I use Velcro on the other, and I can get up in the middle of the night and go either way out the door or just let air through. Here's the 3 zippers, and you can see how you can put a strap through the top or just not use it at all. And I usually do on one side and not on the other. So on this side I don't have it running through those zippers, but I use the Velcro on this side. And the Velcro is really good quality Velcro. In wind conditions it's kept the entire shelter closed. I don't think it's ripped open on any trip I've been on, and so I'm really impressed with the quality of the Velcro and the fact that it just works. It holds up real good, except for when you sit in your hammock. It is gonna split through a couple of those, so you're gonna want to set it up the right way at the right height. I like the doors, it's a good feature. The reason that I bought this was the fact that it can be enclosed like totally from rain and snow and wind, all that kind of stuff, as well as the fact that it has stove jacks, because I love to go winter backpacking. These stove jacks are good. I have other OneTigris tents with stove jacks. They haven't melted. I haven't had any issues with the fabric or the stove jack itself, which is a OneTigris stove jack. And on these, I don't actually use the one I'm looking at. I usually use the vertical one. I just want to show you that if you use this one, you're going to want to find a better way to roll this up and keep it secured so it doesn't touch your stovepipe that low. I just have a couple concerns about that flopping in the wind and maybe melting or something, not really catching on fire, but melting. I use the vertical one, so I'm not usually too worried about that. It seems to hold up fine. But I'll tell you that when you set this up, you definitely want to guy it out properly. There's a bunch of guy lines, there's a bunch of stakes all over, and you're going to want to use them all to keep it rigid so that it doesn't blow around in the wind or start a fire. I don't use a ridge line. I set it up like this with that cinch strap, and that works best. Make sure it's level when you set it up or you're going to be really frustrated, and I figured that out the hard way a couple times. It's really frustrating if you set it up wrong. Here's a comparison between a Climate Recon XL, that's usually the pad I use, especially with Hammock. Really warm pad for the winter. Kind of show you the size of the bag. The OneTigris tent, it weighs 6.8 pounds. Here's a Snug Pack that weighs about 2 pounds. That's a Stratosphere. Here's a really small, lightweight sleeping bag that I use in the summertime. And here is a OneTigris Little Smoky Hut. So just for size comparison, if you have one of those, it is a rather large bag. 6.8 pounds is a little heavy, but there's so much space inside, guys. Here's a Snug Pack hammock with straps, with some tree straps, just to show you. Downside, it takes forever to put up, forever to take down. There's a lot of technical pieces to it, but it's such a nice shelter to be in. I really like it. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. I just want you to be aware that it's a little bit technical and you really have to take your time in setting up and taking down.